Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the grand final of the Iron Squid Chapter 2, where we have the two players who have been performing most phenomenally throughout the season. We get to see them duke it out in a best of 7 to determine who will be the grand champion. I'm Day 9.
I'm Kyle Laris. Life versus Don Regu is on the menu, as we do have spawning to the left-hand side here as our blue Zerg. He goes by the name of Startail Life.
And spawning over on their right position, performed oh so strongly in these exact spots against Nest-T. He is MVP Don Regu.
Now this is going to be interesting. Best of 7 ZVZ. Life, arguably the strongest player in the world right now, crushing skulls left and right. Going up against Don Regu, who performed very well in ZVZ before.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how Life's going to play it out. And we're opening on Abyssal City.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting to note that when most people win a championship, the very next story is them being dethroned. That always is what happens. I mean, you had Life who, you have a player like, I'm thinking of Jockji, who won a GSL and quickly disappeared. Pult, who won a GSL, and shortly thereafter had a huge drop-off for a long time.
Yeah,
but Life performed well in GSL, and then won in MLG, and then continued to win in everything. Team league, individual league, just win, back to back. This is the first huge tournament of 2013, and here Life is again about to win. I mean, he's he's a winner.
He is a winner, he is. And interestingly enough, from a potential winner's perspective here, going for hatchery first, which is something I did not expect from Life in this very opening game.
Yeah.
I was expecting either 10 pool or normal kind of 14 pool.
Yeah, and no matter what his pool time is, he loves to get that early gas to get much faster link speed than compared to his opponent.
Yeah, very, very important. And going up against a person like Don Regu, you need that kind of thing. Don Regu he's shown during his series against Nest-T that he can go for early pulls if he wants to.
You know, one of the interesting things about Life is we always talk about his Zergling usage and his ability to counterattack, and especially a lot of his early pool stuffs, but Life has shown that he's amazing at metagame reads. Like against Marine King Prime, game 1, 10 pool, straight off the bat, ran right into a 14 command center on low ground and won immediately, basically.
Yeah, things like that is just, it shows how pristine somebody can be in terms of the decision-making going into some kind of series. And for Life, that's a really, really nice step here. I think this opening here he's gone for is a nice step. This isn't something I think that Don Regu was anticipating, and now that he sees it, he must be thinking, oh, really? You went hatch first. I'm kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, Life, it's so subtle because so much of his other game elements are what make him amazing.
Yeah.
But when you're playing against him, you just kind of have that feeling of, oh, I guess he's doing this. Oh, that's kind of unfortunate. He always seems to do the correct opening.
For now, we do have just a few Zerglings on the way for Life here to go for a little bit of scouting potential and speed on the way for both players. Life will have a smaller advantage, but not really too much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, this is one of these standard Zergs where one player opens up hatch first, the other player opens up pool first.
Yeah.
The only thing that really ends up panning out is that they have kind of alternating releases on the larva. Both just going to generally get up that early defensive Baneling Nest, and there it is for DRG. A lot of this is the by-the-book stuff, not a lot of intense micro battles. So what are your thoughts on how the mid-game could pan out?
Well, for Life, this is a lot about, going straight into, a lot of potential counterattacks in terms of the Zerglings. That it's funny because Life, if he retained Zerglings in the early game, he's one of the best players at using them in the mid-game.
Yeah, and there's Don Regu immediately showing off some unbelievable Zergling micro of his own.
Yeah, very, very nice. He's just dancing around here. And Leia is already on the way for Life. Good God, that's quick here. Don Regu needs to be able to scout this out, and obviously the potential possibilities.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, the normal way to get a fast layer has you start the layer at around 6 minutes. Yeah, look, thank you, Don Regu. Literally doing the exact same thing. He's going for the 6-minute layer. But we see starting at Life, gosh, that's 5:30 layer.
Yeah, and both guys have taken all 4 gas guys here, so one can only assume that they're playing to the nuances of the map and probably going to go for a Spire player each. We have the Spire already on the way for life here. Will we see the Spire going down for Don Regu is a question.
Yep, there it is going. You know, this is fantastic play on this map. I really like that with 4 enormous, distinct counterattack paths and a 5th one that can be opened up by destroying those rocks in the center. There we see them right there. Thank you, wonderful Funko, who's doing the observer. I mean, the Mutalisks are the best way to be able to manage that space.
Yeah, they really are. It looks like Life's going to try and go for a little bit of a scout. Will be denied for now, though. Don Regu kind of easily warding that off. And behind this, Don Regu is actually not going for Spire just yet. He's just going into the standard Roach mid-game.
I like this. I honestly think that on maps where you have some of the most defensive problems, you should either embrace it, the way that Dong Regu is doing, and go for those roaches and infestors straight away, just focus on playing really solid, really good defense, or say, oh, if you have problems defending, then I'm going to attack. That's exactly what we see Life doing.
Yeah, nice Baneling connection there. The Zergling is going to try and scoop by, see exactly what is going on. Do they get a whiff of the Spire? Yes, they do. A great scout there by DRG. And now he can prepare, but the Spire just popped, so he has to prepare very quickly.
I don't think that Life will make more than 8 mutas.
Yeah, I would agree with that, actually. Just kind of mix them in and then transit. Oh, but he's going for weapons. I think he thinks his opponent's also going for Spire. Wait, no, because he'd be going for Carapace then. Never mind.
I mean, it is a convenient way to get a little bit easier of kills. I mean, if you think about the fact that a lot of the Zerg units have that extra 1 hit point that heals when you do damage, getting the +1 attack can be a little bit more advantageous. There's a single additional Mutalisk. We already see Life transitioning out of the Mutalisk tech with that Roach Warren going down, the Expand, the 1 Evolution Chamber.
I'm a little confused by the weapons attack. I mean, you're saying that, you know, you can get things killed a little bit quicker, that's great and stuff like that, but third base is going to get denied.
Oh, and another missed cancel. That's exactly what DRG did against ST.
Yeah, that's not too good there. The Mutalist's flying around, trying to find a little bit of space to do some damage, but he's still getting 2 extra ones. What is he going to do with all of this?
Wow, still making the Mutalisks. Trying to get a little bit of space control there. Has also that Overseer there to pick off all those creep tumors. I mean, right now, we're seeing the DRG, the same DRG that we saw against Nestea on this original game, where Dong Regu was so excellent at picking off that 3rd hatch. And again, right as it's been killed off, a couple of seconds pass, and those Zerglings eagerly step into the middle of the map again to try to go, oh, let me do a little poking at this 3rd.
Life for now, will he be able to spot this 3rd going down? Doesn't look like it just yet. That Zergling evacuates whilst the 3rd does get planted. But Life, meanwhile, is actually gearing up with a lot of roaches, well, at least in production, and getting his +1 weapons as well. And +1 weapons for the Mutalisks will finish up in just a second. I wonder if there's like a +1 Mutalisk number with 10 mutas that does something against a unit or something.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to run through some maths in my head. I mean, certainly you'd need the extra muta to be able to pick off a Infestor. You need 11 Mutalisks with +1 to one-shot that good old Infesta at this point in time. Life is doing a little bit of poking damage in the main base. He's not going to do tremendous damage. There's about 4 workers killed off. And at this point, we're seeing finally the transition into Infestors from Life, who is ahead on supply, but a lot of that is because he's gone for roaches instead of getting anything high-tech based.
Yeah, that's true. He's up to 19 roaches right now in comparison to his opponent's 11. Trying to establish his 3rd as furiously as possible. And meanwhile, we have even DRG just getting his 3rd as quickly as possible. But he does have +2 on the way for his roaches himself. So if an engagement ends up coming, whilst we only have like +1 against +2, for example, +2 for roaches is a pretty big deal in comparison to just +1. It's extra 2 damage.
All right, and there, again finding himself a queen, just really trying to stilt the production of Dong Regu, but still has to pull back due to that Spore Crawler placement. Doesn't want to get too over-eagered. Oh, the fungal. Nice fungal. You will be able to pick off just a little bit of Mutalisking, not a ton. And of course, you have to spend a big, fat chunk of energy just to keep those dudes still.
You really do. I would love to see someone work out, like, well, I mean, it doesn't match up equally completely, but like how cost effective it really is to fungal a certain pack of Mutalisks, and depending on if someone's actually going to push during, well, I guess it's not, but you know, wasting that many fungals can be extremely detrimental against Mutalisks, which, for all intents and purposes, aren't really going to matter in a straight up fight.
Yeah. You know, if Life went for the double expand here, I'd be a lot happier. I mean, if you devote to Mutalisk and devote to Lings, you got that map control. You're saying, no, the map's mine. You just, no, you're not moving anything anywhere. I'm going to have all the watchtowers, all the speed overlords wherever I want. But right now, Life is behind on the Infestor count by a long shot. Donregu, 9 Infestors, all of which have pretty high energy. Only 6 recently hatched Infestors for Life. Roach lead. Neither player really has the advantage. Both getting Hydralisks right now. I mean, I'm definitely leaning more strongly towards Donregu at this point.
Meanwhile, we do have up to the top. Whoa, this one Spore Crawler with 9 kills. There was a huge blob of blue moving up to the top. I'm curious as to what is actually going on up there. Ah, some roaches poised for some kind of counter-attack, as Life now knows his opponent is moving into the middle of the map, so no doubt he'll dart in with those very soon.
And here comes the Life stepping right on in. Donregu is pulling back at the same moment, though. This is going to be a lot of roaches that are potentially just going to get thrown down the tube. All target firing that hatch. An instant transfuse by Donregu even before his army arrives. Donregu wrapping around those units, and again another roach counterattack, but they get picked off. An excellent split from Donregu, and meanwhile on the top right side, sure, they killed off that expansion, but all those roaches are gonna die.
If any fungal was attributed to a damn good fungal, that was one of them. Hitting those roaches perfectly as they were moving towards to go for an extra multi-pronged attack was really strong play there by DRG.
Donregu destroyed Life in that attack. Now we have 20 Hydralisks in production. 6 more left to hatch. Third base goes down. Now Life must do non-stop counterattacking. Keep DRG on his toes for what? 4 or 5 minutes? Like, he needs a lot of time to rebuild. Both players now going to be finishing up 2-2 range, Hydras, all that good jazz, except Donregu in that unit tab. We're seeing a hell of a lot scarier of an army. 21 Hydras. Yeesh.
21 Hydras is a very difficult thing to deal with. You're right here. And with that, I mean, how is Life actually going to combat that just now? He's slightly supply blocked here. He needs to make more units. He's going to go for the engagement.
Oh, that is a very nice set of fungals from Donregu. A couple of Infestors get caught on the top side, but it looks like with the 21 Hydralis, it is not really going to matter too much. Donregu is already ripping it down. We see the long-range mining drone still trying to secure that top right side. And even though Life has that supply lead, it's a little bit of an illusion. Most of that is the 20 roaches that are in production as we speak.
Yeah, but will the shorter reinforcement path of Life be able to beat this out? For now, it will, as behind all of this, DRG's economy for the whole time that third's been down has been completely crippled in comparison to Life. And Life, for now, can max out so much quicker here. 174 supply right now to 126.
Man, Life is a wizard. Every single time he seems to be at a huge disadvantage. He just calmly does a couple small counterattacks, gets one good engagement, and then he's really far ahead. You know, it's kind of funny because a lot of people will watch Life do this in Zerg vs. Terran, and they'll go, oh gosh, you know, it's probably that Zerg is overpowered, and there needs to be some nerf to this unit or that unit. But here we see Donregu was in a big army lead. He had half of the units lost of Life. And then Life, just in one engagement, is now way ahead in supply.
Yeah, it's a wizard is a correct way of saying it. I'm actually imagining Life in, like, you know, like the Fantasia, like with Mickey Mouse in his little robe and his little hat. I'm imagining Life in that little costume. He looks so cute. Oh,
gosh, I mean, yeah. As you say that, I totally look at Life now and can't envision a black mage from Final Fantasy 1 without the hat on. That's Startale Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Just put that hat on him. Boom.
He's got it. He's got it, man.
And now Life is moving out with a gigantic force. I mean, it's essentially going to be roach-based, but there are those 18 Hydras kind of stuck at the backside. Donregu instantly gets the concave advantage by funneling right at the bottom of that ramp.
That's a very nice place for a Donregu to engage into, considering that he was down his supply slightly. Life, though, still battling back, bringing it back a little bit.
Counterattack at the bottom.
Oh, he's going to try and do some damage here as well. That engagement still on the way up at the top, though, trying to beat down all of this. Those Hydras made actually a really big difference in the end.
Drones from Life, not quite sure what to do, but they know that they shouldn't be by those roaches. Now that Dongregoo finds them, they will instantly surround and start giving them a little headache. Oh, Life!
Oh!
What happened?
Well, they melted quickly. Oh, wow. And so did that one as well. Poor Life. Just like that wizard melted.
I mean, right now, Life has 23 Hydras, 19 Roaches, and that's it. This is another time where you would say Dongregoo definitely has the lead. Max versus probably, what, 3/4 Max, another engagement. We see Dongregoo getting a decent concave, and it continues to crush through as it becomes Roach versus Hydra. Dongregoo has a clear edge. Can he keep it against Life?
He's found his way back into this game so well. He took his 4th, he got the 7th and 8th Gas Geyser, which are so important in ZVZ, whilst all this time, Life never took his 7th and 8th.
GG!
Wow!
Life noticeably frustrated. Did you see it at the end of the game? Look, he's left his
yeah.
booth. He's just, there he is walking
Where's he
out
going?
at the bottom left.
Bye-bye, Life.
He just waltzed right out. I mean, he must be very frustrated with himself.
He was in such a good position there. After denying his opponent's 3rd base, killing the off, he had 3 bases worth of economy. If he takes his 4th base from that point on, and takes the 7th and 8th Gas Geyser, DRG just, well, he got that great engagement as well at the bottom of that ramp. That was really, really nice.
Yeah, that was definitely the tide-turning moment. Everything looked in favor of Life, and then Dongregoo, like you said, nailing the bottom of that ramp. But something blows my mind. How on earth was Life able to get such a huge lead? I mean, he waltzed up to the 3rd, threw away all those roaches, did a counterattack into the natural, threw away all those roaches, and essentially killed off a hatch. And that was it. And then just instantly got the lead again. It's mind-blowing.
I think for the most part, it's to do with having more lava and more income, right? To supplement the difference between how much army you're left with and how much army your opponent has, but in a crippled state. So, but you're right. I mean, those kinds of dynamics in ZVZ are so hard to fully attribute for in your mind.
Yeah, because it's so true. When most people go for an attack, they try to get in and kill off some drones and leave, because everyone knows that that's a good exchange.
Yeah.
Some free workers. But we always speak in that theoretical term. Look at all that lost mining time. But the question is, how much mining time really is lost? How much damage is really dealt? It's not as clear. 5 drones, it's really easy to compute with a lot of attacks how many workers you about need to kill off to make the units lost there worth it. But it's so unclear to see Life waltz in there, throw away 2.5 times as many units as his opponent, and then got a hatch, and then was able to exploit that position. People don't make that decision consciously.
No.
They say, well, if I'm even and I kill the expansion, then I guess it's fine. But to lose that much is crazy, the decision-making Life uses.
Yeah, very, very strong. And these dynamics only really come into play fully in ZVZ, because there is that lava versus lava mechanic that is there and exists.
Yeah.
So it plays out far different to any other matchup. It's so weird to watch, and it's so weird to even play when you have to factor in those kinds of things, those kinds of plays, and really kind of just say, well, I can... Even if I've lost so much of my army, I can still actually afford so much more in a short period of time, because you can't.
Yeah, I mean, really, really cool overall to see that in Game 1, they've defined how they want to be playing. A lot of aggression, a lot of tacking, a lot of weird decision-making, and it's all going to come down to who can make the better decisions in these individual engagements. Life left Game 1 so frustrated, storming out of his booth the instant he put up the GG. Let's find out what happens in Game number 2 right after this.